Hey guys, and welcome back to City Skylines in Lower Trenton, Upper Trenton, West Trenton, and all the other wonderful places that we've been naming. Blitz Square, the Industrial Park, it's all looking really beautiful from up here on this random plane that I spotted and thought it'd be a good view. And it is a lovely view. It does show how much we haven't covered though. There's an awful lot of map. I do want to put in some landmarks at some point, as well as maybe spread out right over here. It'd be really cool to actually have most of the map covered at some point and have lots of little towns, but that's something to work on, isn't it? To start with, there's been loads of work. I've been tarting it up all over the place, so lots of things are looking really good now. The Sam Bur Park and Gardens is all sorted, and it's got a nice castle in it. We'll have a look around that in a second. The Omargamark Park, the Omargamark 3 Beach is all finished as well now. That's got some nice wave breakers in it and a little dock in the middle. I do want to put in the buses next. That is literally next on our to-do list, but we'll have a quick tour so you can see all the little details, and then we'll get going. There we go. First person mode. I love first person mode. It's so cool to actually get to see everything up close. Look at everybody on their way to work. I think it's quite early in the morning. I don't know how early. It's like 10-ish. We'll see in a second. But here it is, the entrance to the Omargamark 3 Beach. Nice stone path that goes down the centre, leads onto this nice concrete promenade. Not so many benches as maybe I should have. I think there's some more on the right somewhere. I've put in some actual, there they are, there's some actual round benches. We've got some wave breakers. They're just fences, but I think they look really good. They're these sort of they've got some rust on them and some mold and stuff like that, so they do look like they're supposed to be there, and the beach is sort of built up. Some boats on a little dock, bit of concrete again. I think it always looks nice. Concrete's just such a good material. Oh, you can walk through that though. Can we walk onto the actual dock? No, none of it's real. But you can see it from back here anyway, that the it's got a nice mesh on it to stop people going out and breaking the law. Stone covers again, just so that people can chill out when it's really sunny. It looks quite professional, I think. Something you might have if they put a bit more investment into like a public area. Little grill on the side. I don't know what they'd sell, probably grilled food, but you know, meats and burgers. Some signs for some things that we're going to have to put in at some point, because we've got the obviously the fairgrounds just there, but we don't have a zoo. But there is a zoo in City Skylines, so that's the next thing that we'll definitely have to be doing, maybe in the next episode. Ice creams, because we're on a beach, so there has to be ice creams, and a yakisoba, which is mentioned a lot on the radio, which I'm not allowed to play because it's actually it's not royalty free, it's all copyright. But the in-game radio is something not to be sniffed at. It's superb and also quite amusing. It's very much like the GTA radio, which was a bit of a surprise when I got this. Look at that! There's an actual cargo ship going out past the island, which we'll have to name at some point. I don't know. That's something we'll do today, is build at least the bridge over to that island, because this is going to become our sort of tourist area. I want to call it a quay, because over here we have places like Gunwharf Quays, and we just have lots of places that are called quays, and they're like really nice tourist spots. So I'd really like to build one of those right over here, like we were saying last time. Maybe change the law, have it become our Amsterdam type place. I just think that'd be really cool. Really nice idea. Next, we've got the Sam Bur Gardens, which I'll show you all of this bit from above because we don't really need to walk around it. But as you can see, it's all been tarted up. There's some nice square areas where it's got some nice lights in. Make it a nice place to hang out, go on a date, romantic evenings. We've got these nice sort of more forested areas with some more pagodas in. Again, there's loads of people using these, which is really nice. And then the castle, which I put right behind the Sam Bur Arts College because I thought it fitted in nicely to have sort of, this would have been here first and these would have been the gardens for it, this would have been a little town, and then it's grown into all of this over years and years and years, which I think makes not just sense sort of from a geological standpoint, but it also gives the whole place a nice bit of backstory, and I like some lore. British towns tend to have a bit of history to them. Let's go and have a walk. Look at that. That's so cool. I think that's amazing. There are loads of lights here as well, but there's no way we're going to be able to see them during the day. I also really like these benches. They're really posh. They're like one solid piece of wood that's been turned with a plaque in the middle. Very, very nice. All these bushes, and again, placed all of these down to sort of break up the motorway type main road over there, because it makes a lot of noise and we don't want that bleeding into the park and the arts college where people are trying to study. God damn it. Should we go in? Should we break the law? Let's go in. We built this place. I'm the mayor, don't you know? Oh, we're going to just wander through these bushes. Doesn't really like that. I want to see the castle right up close. Is there a way in? Where's the door? Oh, it's on that side. We'll sprint round and find the door. There it is. Ah, there's one of the lights. And there was me saying we'd never see them. Right, there is one, but obviously it's not turned on. Ah, that's awesome. That really is cool. See, it's really nice to come down in first person. I don't know what I'd do without this mod. I could never go back. But yes, all of this has been given its hedges. It's got some nice bushes, big open spaces. I've blocked it all off up to here, and then it kind of becomes a bit more of a garden. All the entrances to this park as well, the Sam Bur Arts Park, as it were, have got these nice over arches. These are actually meant to be motorway struts, but they've got these nice lights on the bottom, and they look very Asian, look very Japanese, and I really like that. I really like sort of well, I love Japan anyway, love my anime. I did Japanese at college, so I speak a little bit of it, but it's something that I like architecturally as well, the sort of way that they build their gardens. So I try to replicate some of that, even though it doesn't quite belong in my British seaside villages. I will do my best to sort of crowbar in some Japanese architecture everywhere I can. Last but not least, we have Upper Trenton, this nice part up here where I've finished off the schools with their little bits of park areas. This one's got a nice playground behind it. This one's got an actual playground that I put together quickly. I did that in a time lapse, I think, in the last one, but I came back and did a few more touch-ups just to bring it up to par. Finished off this little garden area over here, though that's just more of a park, I guess. It's got a nice little sand pit, some more swings and things for the kids. It's a much nicer area up here. It's much more open spaces. I'm going to try and keep it this way, Upper Trenton. Make it into an actual posher place. And then right down here where it connects on, I made this bit all nice. I do love my concrete, but as you can see, this slope looks a lot nicer. I'm just going to sprint across the road. This slope here looks a lot nicer with a bit of concrete on each side to sort of block it off. It looks a lot more natural. Then we've got some signs here. The Night Watch. Be safe. I'm floating in space, keeping an eye on you. It's basically what that says. And then there's one over here, which I think is animated, or it might just light up at night. Oh no, it is animated. The headlights sort of flash, but that's cool. Bit of advertising as people come around. There's a lump in the middle because that's what all roundabouts have here. They all have lumps on. Oh, there goes a Royal Mail van. Ah, something else I recognise. It's really nice to see a car every now and then. It's just really cool that I actually see every day. Oh, it's a black cab. What are you doing outside of London? Go home. And now it's what we've all been waiting for. At last, the buses are unlocked and we can actually start putting down bus routes and building an actual sort of central hub over here for our commercial area, because people do come through here a lot and it is the main shopping plaza, but I think some bus routes would really bring people in and get them into the fairground as well, because it's not the busiest fairground in the world and that is just not good enough. I'm not 100% sure where we're going to put our bus terminal. I have been thinking about doing it over here because we just want the building for the buses to be quite far out the way. I used to put them in the middle of like cities and towns, but the amount of buses that come out sort of trying to spread out from the central bus terminal is insane, so I'll try to avoid putting any bus stops right on it and make it just a bus terminal where the buses come and go, they get serviced and all that sort of thing. So we'll probably start by putting in a little roundabout here. I'll time-lapse this part, but it won't be very long. Thank you for your feedback, by the way. I'm really glad that you all like the music that I've selected and gone out and found. I just like supporting some of these little artists and that, so I'm really glad that you guys do actually enjoy the random selection of tracks that I've been choosing, because I have been worrying about that, thinking you might all listen and just go, the video's cool, but the music is just horrendous. So I really, really am thrilled that you like it, and there'll be more of that in the future. go, you can rejoin. I think that's about right for the bus station. I like that because it means people will be able to get in and out if they work there, but it's not it's got a garden behind it or a little park area, but it's not in itself a hub, which I'm quite pleased with. So it shouldn't draw too much attention, and I've joined it straight onto the roundabout, so it's got an in and out, and round here is only one way. So it should be, in theory, a nice smooth transition for the buses in and out of the main road. So let's put down our first bus route. The first one I want to do will be the hub area down here for the commercial park and Chirpy Land. So we'll probably start with Chirpy Land, and that'll be one. We'll have it try its best to sort of weave around most of these buildings, but we'll go along with the traffic, because again, law in the UK at least is that we drive on the left, so it's best to try and go left, so clockwise around the world, to avoid crushing or trying to go against traffic. Not that a bus is going to crush traffic, but you know what I mean. You don't want to be trying to cross over roundabouts and things the other direction. So it's easier to just follow the route that everything naturally wants to take. There we go, that's one bus route. We're going to make this one white, and we're going to call this Chirpy Land Route 1, and this basically takes you all around the town and back to Chirpy Land. So if anyone needs to get around here, they can do. Then we will do another one to bring people from here to West Trent Estate and Blitz Square, because people can walk across, but they might want to use one bus that can sort of bring them through, and then if they get into here and they want to move around more, they can change onto this bus route. It won't, however, go all around this area because there's already a bus for that. They can change over. So I am going to move one of these because we go in here, and I don't know if going in here is really necessary. I think that's just so that they can change and turn around. So I might have to change this, change the rules, because I can't have that. Okay, that took a bit of fiddling actually. There was a couple of problems with the bus route. Over here I had to have a fiddle with the way that the roads are manipulated. The lanes weren't really working out here, so I had to do this part manually so that the buses were able to maneuver in and out of the main road with a bit more ease. Here we go, see, so he can turn around and go in there, and they can go out there, because he was having to go up here around there so he could turn around and come back on himself, and that's ridiculous. So I might put in some traffic lights, but I don't think it'll be that busy here, so what we've done should be fine. I've changed this part here so that they're coming straight down the main high street. That means that if they want to do some shopping, they've got now a bus stop, which should be probably one of the busier ones. I might drag one in here because there isn't anywhere in here for people to get off and get on if they're sort of, well, you're supposed to be not that far from here, are they? Maybe not, we don't need that one, that's fine. But next stop is joining up West Trent Estate, Trenton-on-Sea and Blitz Square Park. I'm not really looking at the schools, which isn't very sensible of me. We'll have to do that in a minute and check exactly where the best place for that is. Bring one down here, and then they can change if they want to go shopping to the main commercial area. Oh, the rubbish tip is full, so we'll have to deal with that. I have got this little one-way road in here still, so that's perfect for just bringing the buses in and out without clogging up this main roundabout. And that is another bus lane. Let's call this one the circle route, and we'll leave that one as blue. Actually, we'll check how many vehicles are being put onto these in a minute, because we're going to start losing money pretty quickly. I would have thought if we don't, they'll probably end up having about 20 buses, even though there's about 3 bus stops. But we only need one left now, and that's going to join all of these ones together, because I just don't want to have a bus route per one. It seems a bit OP. We don't need far too many buses. We'll just clog up the roads to start with, which would be the opposite of what we're putting the buses in for, which is to get people off of their cars and into buses. Rather than making it sort of in one go, I'm going to stretch this bus route out and let it sort itself, because sometimes it's a bit better to let the computer work out what's best. There we go, see? So that's the most smooth route, as it were. That's the best route for the bus to take to be fast. So we'll do that, and then we can just put the dots on there. Now, there isn't really a way for them to cross from one bus route to the other there, so I might actually bring this in here, but that seems foolish. No, I'll drag this one down and we'll put it into the commercial road, and we really will try and make this our central hub if we can. It'll be a bit tricky, but we'll work on it. Ta-da! There go the buses, aren't they beautiful? Got some double deckers, got some single decker buses. Now let's check each of the routes individually and just make sure that they're not going to be ridiculously overcrowded. Number of vehicles, 1 of 16. We do not need 16 buses on any of those routes. That's insane. So let's just bring that right down to 0, because we don't need to spend basically any extra money on the buses. Because by changing this budget here, all I'm doing is changing the amount of money that the buses are allowed, which in itself changes how many buses are on the route. So there's really no need. I'm going to tell it how many buses are on the route, so I'm just going to set that to 0. Play for a second, let the numbers sort themselves out. In fact, let's actually speed up time so I can see what's happening. Immediately let's drop to 9, which is a lot better. How many stops are there? Oh, there are 8 stops on the bus route. Okay, that's not so bad. So there are 8 stops and there are 9 buses, but there's some big gaps, so that one feels all right. I think we'll just leave it as it is for a moment, see how that does. But that should drop a lot of people off of the main roads and off of the roads in general, which is superb. Oh, there go the fireworks. Yay, I love the fireworks. The whole place is really coming together. I also renamed all of this, so this is now officially called The Pier. We've got the Sam Bur Gardens, as you've seen, but I've named everything individually so that when we zoom right out, you'll be able to see it all from a distance. Though we haven't done Applegate Heights, I'm going to rename that now to, let me think. Sandrid. I'll just call it Islands. Or Island, because I suppose it is just an island, but Sandrid Island. And then in a bit we'll put Sandrid Keys over on this side, because I do want to put in that toll road quite soon. Toll road would be fantastic, but not as good as this fire. That's massive. There's still people walking through it, which is incredible. Hell has arrived. Maybe if we slow it down, but we'll let that deal with itself. I'm sure the services are on it. Yeah, there they are. They're doing their job. We are on super fast forward, so it's all a bit jumpy at the moment, but they're doing their job. That's fine. We'll leave them to it. There's a lot of trees around now, which is a real fire hazard, but again, soon we'll have helicopters for our fire brigade, and then they'll be able to dump water from the sky, and that will deal with a lot of forest fires. Oh my god, there's a huge fire taking place, and here was me about to do bus routes, whack up the fire bill. I have no idea why everyone's in such a fire going mood. I think there's lightning strikes going on that I've not noticed. The weather turned, so some lightning striked, and I think that has caused a fire. But again, I'm sure the authorities will deal with it soon. They're very good. It is also raining, so the fires should go out by themselves. If there's one thing we aren't on top of, it's fire. Everything else is fine, but still, as I was saying, I just want to see if there are any extra bus routes we need to put in for buses only, because bus routes will only have buses on them. So if there's anywhere that buses are crossing over too much, or that they could really use their own bus route, I was going to add it here. Luckily, we've got one here, but that's for everybody, and it works really well to just take people out of this roundabout, so we'll leave that one. I don't see any huge amounts of traffic where buses are blocking it up. This part's all quite smooth as well, which is also very nice. Here's starting to clog up. I think a good place to have a bus route would be in and out of here maybe, or on this side. We could just come straight off of this part and go straight into the town and avoid that entirely. I think that would be exactly what we're going to do. Ta-da! No one can live here. Everyone's got to cross the road the old-fashioned way. But there, that should stop anybody needing to use that roundabout. So what I'm going to do is ban buses on this roundabout, or ban them from going over this at all. Because I know that we set this part up actually. Originally, this part here was built to take a lot of buses, and it is quite a nice little area, but it's actually quite busy and it's near this main road, so it's probably not the best place to be allowing buses to be coming in and out. So I'm going to ban them. Then they have to come this way, and on this road I will ban everybody but buses, meaning that they have to swap over. Obviously SOS, as in the emergency services, and rubbish are allowed to use this, because if it's a quicker route for an emergency, then that is the route that they should take. But we're just not allowing cars, lorries and taxis in. Then if we go and check this now, much better. See here, they're having to come through here and use all of this, and it is a bit messy, so I might try and do something about that. We'll tidy this up. Yeah, we'll just put one on. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes you just have to delete it and then put it back, and it will sort this double crossing out. It's fine, really. It just gets itself a bit confused. But that should take a lot of pressure off of this roundabout and smooth it up a bit. And then people coming on and off of here, again, shouldn't have too many problems. Though, again, this is another roundabout I haven't marked off. We'll mark this off, and then I will start the toll road. Much better. Oh, we've got a power problem here. Why is that? Let me just check and make sure everybody has power still before we move on. They do, but there's just been a break here. I'm guessing that we have very much missed a few lightning strikes while we've been tarting things up and moving ourselves around. There we go, that's all that back together. Now, we've got the bus routes, everything should be sorting itself out. Let us just check our traffic, because we never did. Right, 63, that is between 60 and 70%, that's great. And with the buses working, that should come down even more. And there's loads of places for people to walk. So, I don't think that many people are even that concerned about taking the bus or taking the car. Meanwhile, over here, this roundabout is probably going to be where I head for our toll road, because it can come down here, over this island, and then over to here. Let's come out of this view. There we go. So we come across here, down there, over that island to here. I was considering going all the way around and then across here and building a little town here. But I think that's just silly, and we can build much bigger and better towns inland. We don't have to be dithering around right near the edge of the map when there's just no need. So first things first, we're going to grab ourselves a toll road. I don't know if we need a particularly big one. Two-way, I mean, it's only going all the way. It's going to quite a big area though, so it might be worth using two separate ones, a one-way each direction on this end, so that they don't get slowed down coming on and off the motorway, because we're not going to have one at both ends. I mean, you either come on and come off again. It's not like there's going to be any other way off of this island. We'll be able to get a ferry, or there might even be an underground train at some point, but there will, if you want to take the car over the bridge, you have to pay the toll. Stick this over there, and we'll put the other one there. Oh, those look quite nice actually. I really rather like those. I do want to bring them together a little bit, that's something, because I want them to be one building in my head. I don't want them to be two buildings, and then we're going to cover it in concrete. But whilst this is happening, we're going to go to another time lapse. Again, if you want to check out any of the music, their name and the name of the artist and the track should be in the bottom left when the song starts. And I will see you on the other side, guys. Alright then, that took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. Those bridges were a bit fiddly. I wanted to have like a much shorter archway on this one, and I wanted to have the famous spanning bridges where there's going to be these much larger bridge spans, and I just thought it would be a nice detail to have. But now that we're back, I'm just going to finish tarting up this road, and then we can start constructing our brand new tourist area, or at least starting to plan it out and working out exactly where we're going to start putting things. Whoa, morning has broken and in has come some sort of tidal wave. It would seem we missed an opportunity to put down our buoys that we aforementioned, and here comes the first tidal wave of the season. It's only come from that side, which is quite nice, and I think it'll probably be deflected, but it's a lot of water. But as you can see, or you'll be able to see in a moment, I've made a start on the opening of this section here. We've got the in and the out road, these nice little roundabouts on each side, and if I quickly pause it so that we're not worrying about what's about to happen, you can see that they are neatly and tidily sort of formed in. So if they want to go from this side round to here, they can do that, and this becomes the main. This is sort of going to be the main hub of this whole section. All the roads are going to come off of these two roundabouts in one way or another, which means that they'll be able to go between the two roundabouts and also turn on and off of this huge toll bridge without getting into the way of other traffic. It needs to be nice and smooth, and the people coming on here will have to wait as well, because you want to set these guys to be giving way to the traffic coming off the bridge so it doesn't bung up all the way back here. You don't want to have traffic jams onto the bridge, and you don't want to have any sort of traffic jams coming off of the bridge. You want it all to be as good as possible. And oh my god, who cares about the tidal wave? This is unacceptable. Let's deal with that immediately and lift that up. Right, there we go. That was horrible. It was a funny colour and everything. It's because I did this part at the dark and I didn't get the best look at it, and maybe I should have given it an extra few seconds of my time. There we go. That's a lot better. Now, let's have a look at that tidal wave. Okay, here we go. Let's see, shall we? It's pretty big. You can really see those water physics doing their hardest here, though, can't you? I mean, look at this. It's superbly well done. Our island here has done an excellent job of dispersing some of it. Hopefully, it's quite shallow, so it might be okay. That is huge, though, isn't it? That is a big tidal wave. It's not a little tidal wave. That might go upland a little bit. Oh, no! Please don't destroy everything, Mr. Tidal Wave. This would be an awful way to end on episode 3. I'm a bit worried. How's the beach? Where's the beach? The beach is the first place to worry about, surely. There we go. Tidal wave has hit the area. Please stand clear. Yes, we're aware. Oh, it's a bit shallow. All the water's been sucked out to sea. That's not good. Ah, it'll take loads though, won't it? I don't know how much this could possibly go, because we're on this huge cliff. There's a massive slope here. That must do something. Water has a lot of force behind it, but I really hope that the land mass will do us some good here. When we came in, we planned for this. We knew there was going to be a tidal wave at some point. Okay, the beach is under. How about the pier? Does the pier survive? Because it's going to take a brunt of the water. Smash! There we go. And there goes all of the poo that we didn't want on land. Am I doing an excellent job, actually? How's that doing? Yeah, it's washing all of that away, which is quite nice. We can't knock it for that. Look at all of the feces and horrible pollution being washed away. For this, I am grateful. Okay, well, it seems to actually all be flowing round to the left. The pier has sort of broken up the wave. Sadly, the beach is flooded entirely. Sorry, Omega Mark III. Your beach is entirely underwater, but hopefully that will drain away soon and we'll see what the damage is. Oh no, the burger van. Oh, wait, here we go. That looks okay, actually. It looks like everything survived. There's no broken buildings that I can see. That's really good. Okay, now here we go. The water's all starting to slosh back in and sort itself out. But generally, I think we survived the brunt of that very, very well. That could have been really bad. And if there were any fires, they're not happening now. That's for sure. Meanwhile, on the island, where a few little inlets and oceans and mini ponds and lakes are just sorting themselves out. Have we flooded any of the bridge? I hope we haven't flooded any of the bridge. Okay, the bridge all looks fine. I had a horrible feeling that some of it might get washed away because buildings can be washed away. I'm not 100% sure on how much it takes to destroy a road. I know earthquakes and things destroy roads. I don't think water can, but it's always worth checking just in case, isn't it? And let's name it. Admittedly, Sandred Island already has a name, but we can do better than that because we now have a name for the place. All of this will become Sandred Keys. Perfect. Lovely. And in Sandred Keys, oh, is that another? God, look at the waves just trying to sort themselves out where it's rippling around inside this basin. It is the huge amount of water that's been displaced, and it's all trying to sort itself out. It is only the one tidal wave that's happened, but the water simulation is so good, it's trying to work out where to put it all and what to do with it. It's mental. I love it. It's great. But policy-wise, we want to change it for just Sandred Keys, because we want there to be recreational use, because it's going to have that's going to become our Amsterdam. We're going to ask people to prefer the ferries just in this area, because we don't want people that live here to use the toll road. We want them to use ferries and things. They need to be rich enough to use the ferries and things so they can pay high taxes. So we're going to make taxes through the roof. It's going to be unbelievably beautiful over here at Sandred Keys. But that will all happen in the next glorious episode, I expect, because I've got a few things to tart up. I want to make sure that we can sort out all of our sewage over here. We did a bit of tarting up, obviously, but I've got a few parks and things. Need to deal with this fire problem if I can find a solution. Next time we'll put in this path down here and join these two areas together. I do want to sort out a monorail when that unlocks, which isn't too many people away. Once we put a few houses over here, I expect we'll unlock the monorail, and that's something I want to run from the beach just up through to Blitz and then on to Upper Trenton, because I think that'd be a really nice short monorail to have. We'll sort out this bridge and make sure it's all tarted up and nice. When the water's sorted itself out at last, I'll finish putting some trees in, but at the moment I can't see. But other than that, if you've got any names or suggestions for anything, do let me know down in the comments below. And that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't already, consider becoming a subscriber. Hit the like icon, it really helps us out on the channel. Hit the bell icon if you want to be informed of when we go live, because whenever I do these videos, I upload them and they go live so that I can be sat in the chat and talk to you and get some feedback. If you enjoyed any of the music, also let me know. And if you want to talk to me on Twitter, hit me up at the VR Sofa. And we will see you all in the next glorious episode of City Skylines, dealing with the UK basically on fire all the time, and tsunamis. But we'll get better. It'll be fine.